Josh McDowell's book, Evidence That Demands a Verdict, has been a tremendous success. It's converted millions of people, including myself. However, it does contain a number of mistakes that I had to correct for as I was analyzing things myself. I think the biggest one occurs right at the beginning. It's about 30 pages into my 700 pages of evidence that he gives us. But he bases all of that on premises at the beginning of the book, and one of them is this one from quoting Norman Geisler and William Nix. Jesus and the New Testament writers never once quote the Apocrypha, although there are hundreds of quotes and references to almost all of the canonical books of the Old Testament. That is not going to work. The opponent is going to object to this prejudiced and biased double standard, and the judge is immediately going to sustain that. The Christian cannot talk about the quotes and references to the canonical Old Testament and then somehow prevent the opponent from talking about the quotes and references to the Apocrypha. The idea that the Protestant admits those references are not proof is exactly the point. If you say those references are no good, they don't amount to anything, that's the point. The references don't count. And yet you notice that Geisler and Nix and Josh McDowell are all talking about references in their own case, and you'll even notice that they're saying it's references to almost all of the canonical books. There are still books that didn't even have references. But they are including references as evidence for the case for Christianity when they themselves say that that evidence is not sufficient and is not trustworthy. So the skeptic is going to show the hundreds of references in the Bible and the thousands of quotes and references from the early church fathers as part of demonstrating to the judge how much evidence there is for the Apocrypha, and that the Protestant has admitted that all that evidence is not sufficient or trustworthy. That is going to be compared to the Protestant's evidence, and we'll see if the Protestant has enough evidence to prove his case.